Hi, folks. Welcome once again to In Case You Missed It. Special treat this week. Sheldon Spackman's back.
That's a treat.
It is.
You need to get out more.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to get out more when we do this
Yes.
because when Josh has been here, we've had perfect weather
Yes.
for In Case You Missed It. But you come back and it's a torrential downpour. So I don't
Call
know.
me Eeyore.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I could call you a lot worse if this is the kind of weather you're going to bring. But obviously, you know what, rain's just been part of the deal this summer, and we're dealing with it just like everyone else here in central Alberta. So let's get right to it with our look at some of this week's most talked about local news stories. And we'll go back to last Saturday because Jason Kenney, Alberta's premier, was in Red Deer to announce what's called a recovery community for Red Deer. What that means is the addition of 75 addiction treatment spaces for Red Deer as part of what the province calls a continuum of care when it comes to those in the province who are suffering from addictions. Now, this recovery community will be located in the city's north end in a non-residential area. Details have still to be finalized. We should know within the next couple of weeks, but you can learn more about the recovery community that was announced for Red Deer by heading to our website, rdnewsNOW.com. Sheldon, this week we saw that the Pride Crosswalk in downtown Red Deer is now a permanent fixture.
Yes, after about 4 years of having a temporary one and having to repaint it every year, the city of Red Deer partnered up with the Central Alberta Pride Society, and they decided to make it a permanent one. It's located along Little Gates at Ross Street there. It looks very nice, and city officials, Troy, say it's really just a symbol of the city's commitment to being a welcoming and an inclusive community, as well as just simply celebrating the community's diversity as well, Troy.
Central Alberta Pride Society has their virtual edition of Pride Week coming up in just a couple of weeks as well. More on that at rdnewsnow.com. When it comes to COVID-19, we're seeing the city of Calgary, they've enacted a mandatory mask temporary bylaw when it comes to public places. City of Edmonton has done something similar. Yep. But we spoke to Mayor Tara Veer this week, says the city of Red Deer not yet looking at taking those measures. Mayor Veer feeling that the current active cases of COVID-19, the current numbers, don't actually warrant the city of Red Deer going with a mandatory public mask wearing bylaw of any sort. But she does mention that the situation remains very fluid. And as we're seeing, the local number of active COVID-19 cases is steadily on the rise. And should that trend continue, it may become something that the city of Red Deer does look into when it comes to wearing masks to help prevent COVID-19 spread. Visit rdnewsnow.com to see more of what the mayor has to say about masks. And another large announcement that everyone was waiting for, Sheldon, came down earlier this week as Education Minister Adriana LaGrange helped announce the Reentry Plan for Alberta when it comes to school this fall.
Yes, Troy, we are going into September under Scenario 1, which is near normal operations with additional health protocols in place. The reaction, I would say, overall from various stakeholders is cautiously optimistic. Red Deer Public, Red Deer Catholic, they're excited to have their teachers get reacquainted with students, but they are still hammering out some details on how to address all those health protocols that need to take place in terms of hand sanitizing, distancing, that sort of thing. A local parent council spokesperson, she's excited to see kids go back to class. However, concerned, as you mentioned, with the rising cases of local COVID cases. But the ATA is a little less enthusiastic. They say there's still a number of concerns that they have for teachers heading into the school year under Scenario 1. So, but overall, I would say it's cautiously optimistic and people keeping a close eye on the numbers right now.
I think we can pretty much all agree that everyone wants kids back in class this fall. Yes. It's just a matter of making sure it's done in a safe manner to help prevent the spread of that COVID-19 virus. So we'll see how things turn out. Again, the fact that classrooms will be open this fall, pretty promising, but we'll see how it turns out. Details again at our website, rdnewsnow.com. In the meantime, Sheldon, thanks for joining me on this week's edition of Casual Friday.
You're welcome.
In our office. We're still really very much in that transition here in our building because we're not back open to the public, but a lot of our staff is back. But it's nice to start working back to a bit of a sense of normal. So eventually that'll lead to me getting a haircut, but not.
I need one right now, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah.
I know.
Right on. Thanks, Sheldon. Shout out to Josh, who no doubt is watching us at home today. And thanks for you folks for following along, as always, at rdnewsnow.com.